We'll explore 7 different ways of moving the spine in yoga and do poses that enable you to explore each of the 7 ways. We'll start by standing tall. I've got blocks. If you don't have blocks, no need for it. But if you'd like to explore different props as we know them in yoga, there's a video that will explain props. I've given you the link below. As you stand, engage your legs by lifting and spreading your toes, and now draw your toes down. Enable your breath to help you expand all the way from the pelvis to your armpit. So you feel the sides of the body, the right side and the left side, really lengthen. From that length, you feel this nice fullness. That is number 1 in the movement of the spine that we do. We work toward axial elongation. So from the pelvis to the crown of the head, we expand and lengthen the spine. Number 2 is a forward bend. In the forward bend, most people will say, "Oh, I've got to touch my toes." That's their forward bend. But actually, you don't have to touch your toes. You can simply go to get length in the back of the body and just place your hands right at the shin bones to allow this easeful surrender. So we have axial elongation in tadasana, or that standing pose, lengthening the spine, a forward bend going toward touching the toes. In uttanasana, it's called a spinal flexion. Now let's come to lie on your belly. And as you lie on your belly, place your hands alongside your ribs for a pose that's called Cobra or Bhujangasana. Place your hands right alongside your ribs. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, soften. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift your heart. So I'm not putting much weight at all on my hands. I'm just allowing the muscles of my back to pull me up. And exhale, soften. Come to all fours position. And in all fours position, let's explore both of the spinal movements that we've discussed, the forward bend and the back bend. In all fours position, on the in-breath, draw your heart forward and lift your chin and lift your sit bones. Exhale, draw your gaze in toward your heart as you lift your waistline up toward the ceiling. Inhale, this is a back bend movement. Exhale, as you lift the heart up, you lift the waistline up. That's a forward bend movement. Inhale and exhale. You're moving the spine into the back bend and forward bend. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, spinal extension. Exhale, spinal flexion. One more. Inhale and exhale. We'll come to a standing pose now. As you come to stand on your mat, step your feet wide. With your feet wide apart, turn your right toes out, bend your right knee. Take your right forearm to the top of the thigh. Let's create this left side lateral extension. So as you root down from the pelvis to the foot, and settle deeper into the pose. Expand from the pelvis to the crown of the head and out through your fingertips to get this nice elongation of the side body, the left lateral extension. Root down to inhale and rise up. Exhale, release your hands. Let's expand the right side as you turn the right toes in so that the right foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Turn your left toes out and look at the line up of the front heel to the back arch. Keep your back leg very solid by rooting down through the right foot. Inhale, expand the side body and draw the left arm down. For the right side, lateral extension, reach your right arm up and over your head, keeping the back leg solid. Just drop a little bit lower into your pose. Invite a nice fullness to the breath. As you do these different poses, you get these waves of understanding about how different parts of your body could use maybe a little bit more attention in the poses that you do. So as you lift up out of the pose and release your hands, you can kind of explore then through the practice of these poses what side, the right side or the left side, for example, in the lateral extension, that you might want to spend a little bit more time in. Now that we've got the length on the right side and left side, it's time to do some twists. So lie on your back. As you come to lie on your back, bend your knees, place your feet as wide apart as the mat is. With your feet nice and wide apart, reach your arms out in this T position with the palms facing up. Draw your knees over to the right side and get a nice extension on the left side ribs. And lift your knees up. Now come to the opposite side. Take your knees to the opposite side. Keep your feet where they are. So it's a little spinal twist after we did the lateral stretch. And lift your knees up. Roll over to your side and lift yourself up to come to tadasana. Tadasana is the standing pose. It's our home base in yoga. Let's go through those actions one more time so that you can kind of embed these 7 different movements in the spine into a regular practice of your own. So as you stand tall, you draw the breath to expand from the pelvis all the way to the armpits. You get this lengthened tadasana. With the side body so long, you start to feel taller. Keep that as you draw forward now and just come down with your hands right to your shins. Let the hands just slide down so that you feel a nice expansion in the back side of the body in this forward fold. And inhale, place your hands to your low back and slight bend to the knees to lift yourself up. Come to your belly for a back bend. The third movement of the spine with your hands right alongside your ribs. Inhale, lift yourself up to baby cobra for a back bending action. Exhale, soften. Inhale as you take the heads of the arm bones back and reach your heart forward. Exhale, soften. One more cycle. In breath, lift up. Exhale, soften. Come to all fours position, or you can come with your forearms on the mat if your wrists aren't comfortable in this. With your toes tucked under, inhale, draw your heart forward in a back bend. Exhale, look in toward your heart as you get the back body full. Inhale, heart forward, sit bones lift. Exhale, draw your gaze in. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And come back to a standing position. Once in a standing position, step your feet wide. With your feet nice and wide, place your hands to the hips, draw your right toes out, look at the right heel, line it up with the back arch, bend your right knee. Take your right forearm down, get this left side lateral extension through Parsvakonasana. Enjoy your breath and just sink yourself into the pose even more. Root down to lift yourself up. Come to the opposite lateral extension by turning your left toes out. Right foot is parallel to the back edge. As you bend your knee, place your forearm down. Take the head of the right arm bone back. Swing your right arm up. And now you have a nice lateral extension. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, come to lie on your back. As you lie on your back, bend your knees. Take your feet nice and wide apart. Take the hands out. With the feet as wide apart as your mat is, draw your knees over to the right side and invite a nice stretch to the side body while you're coming into just a little bit of a twist. And you know your body well enough to know if it feels a little bit too deep, then you want to back off a little bit. Inhale, lift your knees up and take your knees to the opposite side. Twisting so that you get nice length to the right side. Inhale, lift your knees up, roll to your side, and come to a seated pose. You get waves of understanding about the different actions that your spine can do. These 7 movements, the axial elongation, the forward bend, the back bend, right side lateral stretch, the left side lateral stretch, and then the twist to the right and twist to the left. If you start these 7 movements every day in a yoga practice that you design for yourself, you'll gain these waves of understanding about your own body, and it will lead you into a deeper practice. Thanks for the exploration. Namaste.